Day 1 of the 12 days of Oscars. The first movie that's nominated for Best Picture is Begonia. What's it about? Without spoilers, of course. Do I think it has a chance of winning an Oscar? And what's my personal rating of the movie or what I think about the actor? So for Begonia, it's about two brothers or two cousins. I can't remember. I saw this movie so long ago. Essentially about these two maybe brothers that are going to kidnap a CEO of a company because they believe that she is an alien. So the entire movie, you are questioning what is going on, who's telling the truth, what's happening, what's sci-fi, what's real. There's just lots of questions throughout the entire film, which I really enjoyed. I think it's fun when a film can make you question what's happening, or you feel like you know exactly what's going on and then maybe you don't actually know what's going on, and then you do know what's going on and then you don't know what's going on, and there's a lot of back and forth. Movie can definitely be a little disturbing at times, I would say. I mean, anytime a movie is about like a man kidnapping a woman or just a woman in a vulnerable state, it's always like kind of a hard watch. I do think that it is worth watching if you enjoy kind of being on the edge of your seat, wanting to know what's going on, having questions, and sci-fi related topics. Second question, does it have a chance of winning? No. No. So my personal rating, and I am just going based off of what I rated it when I watched it the first time, which would be 3.5 out of 5 stars on my Letterboxd. If I watched it again today, I don't know if I would rate it higher necessarily or lower. I would probably rate it about the same. Oh, Begonia, good. Does it have a chance of winning? No. My personal rating, 3.5 stars out of 5. Day 2 of 12 days of Oscars. Today's movie is Frankenstein. What's Frankenstein about? I feel like everybody knows what Frankenstein's about. People don't know is that Frankenstein isn't the name of the monster. I didn't know that as a child. So Frankenstein is about a doctor who wants to reverse death in a sense. He's got a lot of childhood trauma with death. That's really the truth here. Instead of learning how to cope with death and grief, he tries to make a person out of other parts of people and essentially creates a monster. There are so many different Frankenstein movies. I always grew up watching the 1930s one, so it's very old and very cheesy. This one was by Guillermo del Toro, so it's a lot more modern and gothic and whimsical, and I loved it. I'll just say that. I loved that movie. Does it have a chance of winning? No. No. It doesn't have a chance of winning Best Picture. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. It does have a chance of winning Best Supporting Actor, Makeup and Hairstyling, Cinematography. Yeah, so I think it will win an Oscar. It just won't win Best Picture. But it's up for Best Picture, so that's really cool. Now, my personal rating. I loved Frankenstein. It is a gorgeous movie, so beautifully stunning. The story's great, classic story. The acting was incredible. Incredible acting. So I gave it a 4 out of 5, and I highly recommend watching it. Just know that it is a little gory and like bloody because he is, you know, putting dead body parts together to make a person. So as long as you know all that going into it, I highly recommend it. Day 3 of the 12 days of Oscars. I wonder what I could possibly be talking about today. So for everyone that knows me, everyone knows that Hamnet is my best picture. A lot of these movies that I have talked about or I'm going to talk about, I feel like I'm like, yeah, I liked it. Yeah, it's good. Oh, this, that. This movie is perfect. I have 0 notes for this movie. I think even people that have given me notes about the movie, I'm like, nope, wrong. You don't know anything about movies. I hold this movie like a little baby. You know what I mean? Very, very carefully, very protected. Very lovingly. So what's Hamnet about? This is really hard for me to say what it's about without potential spoilers, if I'm being honest. About a man and a woman who meet and they fall in love and they have kids and they have a home and, you know, all those good things. The father is struggling with not exploring his creative side. So they essentially agree that he should go off and start his business and world and things like that. So she is at home a lot with the children. Something tragic strikes the family, and they both are grieving the situation in very, very different ways. I find the situation very realistic, even though it takes place in like the 1500s. No two people grieve the same. And I think the way that the movie goes is you have an understanding of the way that they both handle this situation, and they both put their heart and grief into different things in different ways to try and explain their feelings. It is a beautiful but heartbreaking yet heartwarming story about love, grief, communication. It's got everything. You know, it's got everything in it. This movie is up for quite a lot of Oscars, the biggest one being the Best Picture. Does it have a chance of winning? I think it does. And I know that sounds biased based on everything I've said, but genuinely, I think it does have a chance of winning. Anyone that's been following the movies this year knows Jessie Buckley will win Best Actress, and if she doesn't, I don't know what to say. The director is up for Best Director. I don't think she's gonna win just because she's going against a couple heavy hitters, but the fact that they were nominated for multiple big categories is huge. It's also up for, I think, cinematography, production design, score. It's got a lot going for it. It does. It's not just my opinion. It's the Academy's opinion. My personal rating, question 3. Obviously, 50 million out of 5. This movie got a perfect rating for me from the second I saw it. I saw it a second time and I saw it a third time. Each of those times, I rated the movie a 5 out of 5. And if I could rate the movie higher, I would, but I use Letterboxd and they go up to 5. If you're okay with being emotional, in tune with your feelings, maybe having some trauma brought up, you should watch this movie. No, honestly, if you just want to see a beautiful story of so many different aspects of life, I highly recommend watching this movie and just bring your tissue box. Day 4. That's 8. Day 4 of 12 Days of Oscars. Today we're talking about Marty Supreme. So many people love Marty Supreme. Who loves it the most? Timothée Chalamet. Timothée Chalamet loves Marty Supreme, guys. He loves Marty Supreme. What's Marty Supreme about? I'm gonna do my best to just say what it's about and not what I think it's about. Marty Supreme is about a man who wants to make it big. He wants to be Marty Supreme. His last name is not Supreme. He wants to be Supreme. He wants to be the best, right? The best in what, you may ask? He wants to be the best in ping pong competitions. I actually really enjoy ping pong. So essentially, he will do anything to win and be the #1 ping pong player in the world. He wants to go out of the country and win all the competitions. He wants to go to the Olympics. He wants to win. He wants to be the best. That is the movie. He wants to be the best ping pong player. Not only does he want to be the best, but he is willing to push anyone to the side or do anything he can possibly do to be the best. So he's very selfish, doesn't have great relationships, and is quite manipulative. In the movie, you're watching chaos ensue. He is tearing people down. He is going to a bunch of countries. He is playing ping pong. Does it have a chance of winning? Unfortunately, I think it does have a chance of winning. Obviously, I've already made it clear my stance on it, but people love this movie. They love this movie. I don't think it should win Best Picture, but it could. So my personal rating, oh my God, I wonder what I could possibly rate this movie. 2.5 stars is my rating. I personally don't recommend this movie just because I hated it so much. But again, people love this movie. They absolutely adore this movie. So if you just want to see a big Hollywood production with some of the most expensive and best marketing possible, and a movie that a lot of people rate pretty high, and a movie that is up for a lot of awards. It's not only up for Best Picture, it's up for Best Actor, Best Director, Production Design, Cinematography. It's up for a lot of awards. So just for that alone, I would say watch it. Form your own opinion, of course. This is just mine. Marty's Brain. 12 Days of Oscars, day number 5. Today we are talking about One Battle After Another. This movie is an extremely big deal because it is done by famous director Paul Thomas Anderson and starring famous actor Leonardo DiCaprio. What's this movie about? This movie is actually an adapted screenplay based on a book. It is a book about a revolutionary group that is essentially going against certain government agencies. Without giving away too much, the movie essentially spends some time showing you what the revolutionary group believes in and what they're fighting against. There's always been a chance of them being in danger, and sure enough, years later, they are. It's about this guy that used to be a big revolutionary guy fighting things and protesting, and now he just wants to find his daughter and keep her safe because he knows that they are in trouble and there are bad people after them, which relates back to the beginning of the movie. So whether you're into the subject or not, Paul Thomas Anderson is such an incredible director. I don't want to say anything else about the movie because I would hate to give away anything, as it is a very quick, fast-paced movie, and a lot happens that is more than just what I am sharing. You should check it out because it's up for Best Picture and a lot of other awards too. This movie actually is up for quite a lot of awards. Not only Best Picture, but also Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor. There's 2 actors in Best Supporting Actor. Best Supporting Actress, Best Cinematography, Best Film Score. It's got a lot of awards, and for a reason. Does it have a chance of winning? It does. It has a huge chance of winning. It actually probably will win, to be honest. Which leads me to my personal rating. I actually saw this movie 3 times in theaters, which is quite a lot. In the beginning, I left that movie and I was like, this is the best movie I've seen this year. Holy crap. 5 out of 5. After seeing it a second time, I still really, really liked it. I especially liked it because I took somebody with me and got to kind of see it through their eyes. But I didn't like it as much, so I thought maybe more of like a 4.5, maybe a 4 out of 5. Third time I saw it, also with new people, so I got to kind of see it through their eyes and really enjoy it again. However, now that a lot more movies have come out, or I've rewatched other movies that are also up for this, I don't know. I still really like it. But comparing it to some other movies I've seen that are up for awards that I watched after, they're so much better. Personally, I'm sorry. And there's a few other Paul Thomas Anderson movies that I actually enjoyed a lot more that I watched after the fact that are older. My personal rating at this time would probably be a 3.5. At the time of watching it, and when it first came out, I would say a 4 out of 5. It's also definitely rated R, so don't watch it with your family or children. Day 6 of the 12 Days of Oscars. I just need to take a deep breath before this one. Today's movie is Sentimental Value. This movie is perfect. I know I'm jumping ahead on my questions, but I just need y'all to know now, this was a very, very, very close second to Hamnet for me. So what is Sentimental Value about? About a father and his 2 daughters. They don't have the best relationship, but they have very different relationships with their father. One of them is a lot more stubborn and sees him in one way. Other one understands the way that this other sister sees him, but is a little bit more open-minded to a relationship with him. He is a renowned director and he wants to make one last movie before he retires. And he essentially wants to cast one of his daughters, the one that doesn't really talk to him, to be the star in it. She is a Broadway star, but she has never done a film before. About him trying to get his daughter to do this movie with him, and she is trying to make him understand why they can never work together. There, of course, is so much more to it than that. So much heart behind it and so much complexity. I find the movie very realistic. It feels like real people, and you can, as a viewer, easily see the two sides that the sister view their father in. It also focuses a lot on the sister relationship and a lot on mental health. I thought the movie was absolutely stunning. So this movie is up for Best Picture. Will it win? Probably not. In my eyes, it is Best Picture. Well, right under Hamnet by a hair. The reason it probably will not win Best Picture, in my opinion, is because it's going against Paul Thomas Anderson and another movie that I have not discussed yet. My thoughts are it's probably going to still be One Battle After Another in another movie, or in third, maybe Hamnet. Also keep in mind, it is technically a foreign film, so it's Norwegian. It's not in English. And was also not widely released here in America. So those factors could have also affected it, of course. It has a chance of winning an award. Probably Best Foreign Film if I had to guess. Then again, it's going against a couple heavy hitters, so I don't know. It also has Best Actress, Best Screenplay. To be specific, Best Original Screenplay. It's not adapted on anything, based on anything. It was fully written just for this movie. My personal rating. Gosh, I wonder what I would rate this movie after everything I just said. Obviously, this movie, to me, is perfect. It's a 5 out of 5. I still have only seen this movie once, which is so shocking because usually when I fall in love with a movie the way that I did with this movie, I would have already seen it 2 or 3 times. So day 6, sentimental value. It's a beautiful movie and I highly recommend it. Day 7 of the 12 days of Oscars. Today's movie is Sinners. I actually refuse to fully tell you what this movie is about. In fact, I think I'm going to just read the IMDb description for this movie. And I will tell you why. Those, including myself, that went into the movie fully already knowing stuff did not enjoy it as much as those that went in 100% blind. So I think going into this movie 100% blind and not knowing where it's going, not knowing what's going to happen, is the best. But to stick with my theme of telling you what the movie is about, I'm going to go ahead and just read the IMDb as it is vague enough and doesn't give too much away. Trying to leave their troubled lives behind, twin brothers return to their hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. Again, that's all I'm going to say about the movie plot, because it is so much better to go in not knowing anything. Sinners is actually up for 16 Oscar nominations. Does that number sound high to you? It is. It's actually record-breaking. So does Sinners have a chance of winning Best Picture? Yes, 100%. I actually think it might, to be honest. My personal guess for Best Picture is going to be Sinners, One Battle After Another, maybe Hamnet. So yes, I think Sinners has a huge chance of winning Best Picture. What did I think of Sinners? Great question. I didn't like it the first time I watched it. I'll tell you why. I went into the movie already pretty much knowing what it was about, and I think I had certain expectations in my head. I also saw the movie at like 10 p.m. and was really tired and not in the place to watch a movie. So when I left the movie, I was like, nah, it was all right. That was now almost a year ago today. I recently rewatched Sinners 2 more times in the month of December and the month of January, and I completely changed my tune about it. I think when you go into a movie seeing the genre as horror, you're expecting the scariest thing you've ever seen in your life. And it's definitely not that, which I can see why horror fans don't like the movie. Seeing it as more than a horror, knowing that it is a little cheesy and there's some mixed elements and very important topics and important themes to the movie, definitely outweighs the cheesy, this isn't really a horror type feeling that I had before. It has a chance of winning a lot more than Best Picture, let me tell you. It's probably going to win Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, could possibly win Best Actor, could possibly win Best Supporting Actress, could win Cinematography and Visual Effects, could win Production Design. It is up for so many awards. The one that I personally think it 100% deserves is the Best film score. Regardless of what you think of the movie, as a horror fan, as a drama fan, any take you have on this movie, you cannot deny how beautiful the music is. Not only just the score and the instrumental music through the whole thing, but also the music that is sung in the movie. There are moments in the movie where there is actual singing involved. And then again, my personal rating, 4.5 out of 5. She rose up. That movie was like a 3, 3.5. And then I saw it a second time and it was a 4. And then I saw it a third time and I was like 4.5. I really love the movie. I highly recommend it. Also, quick side note, who doesn't want 2 Michael B. Jordans? 5 out of 5 just for that. Welcome back to 12 Days of Oscars. Today is day 8. That's 9. 8. So I've already pretty much been over the big best pictures that are nominated, or what my personal best picture choices are. So now I figured we would talk about other big categories for the rest of the 5 days in the 12 Days of Oscars. Today we're talking about acting. Obviously, I know all about acting, so I figured why not me speak on this. There are 4 major categories of acting that will be given on Sunday, and that is Best Lead Actor, Best Lead Actress, Best Supporting Actor, and Best Supporting Actress. This year is going to be tough. So starting with the first one, Best Actor is quite a toss-up. We have Timothée Chalamet, Leonardo DiCaprio, Ethan Hawke, Michael B. Jordan, and Wagner Moura. I think when you hear Leonardo DiCaprio's name, you're like, oh, Leonardo DiCaprio. But although I think he did an amazing performance in this movie and I would much rather have him over some other options, there was better acting in that movie done by the supporting roles. A lot of people think it's gonna be Timothée Chalamet or Michael B. Jordan, but there is a secret weapon with Wagner. I haven't even seen The Secret Agent, but I've heard so many things about his acting and I've seen him in other things. I would not be surprised if he just comes in and sweeps that award. I personally don't think Michael B. Jordan is the best actor ever, but I can see why he will win because he played 2 completely different characters. I am such a Marty Supreme hater, but even not being a hater, Timothée Chalamet's been in better stuff. I have seen him act better in Call Me By Your Name, Little Women, Beautiful Boy. Even in Lady Bird, he was better in Lady Bird, and he's in that movie for like 15 minutes. Ethan Hawke is an actor that a lot of people I think look up to in Hollywood, but I didn't really hear much about this movie or his performance, so I don't see him winning, but we'll see. Actress in a leading role, it's pretty obvious it's going to be Jessie Buckley. This isn't me being biased because of Hamnet. However, a part of me would not be surprised if Rose Byrne sneaks her way in and takes it. Hey, like, no disrespect to her because she is amazing and she was really good in that movie, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. I have nothing to say about Kate Hudson. Renata Ransfay, Emma Stone, and the 2 that I already mentioned, Jessie Buckley and Rose Byrne, are all going head-to-head for this award. I will be shocked if Jessie Buckley doesn't get it. If she doesn't, I will be okay if it's Renata Ravenze. Emma Stone is Emma Stone, but her performance in Begonia isn't Oscar-worthy in my opinion. Okay, actor in a supporting role is genuinely a toss-up. Benicio del Toro, Jacob Elordi, Delroy Lindo, Sean Penn, and Stellan Skarsgård. I saw all 5 of these performances, and let me tell you, all 5 of them were incredible. Sean Penn and Stellan Skarsgård have both won this season, so they're looking like to be the top contenders. Oh, and Jacob Elordi also has won this season. Benicio del Toro was everybody's favorite character, including mine, in One Battle After Another. So I could totally see him winning. And Delroy Lindo is beyond deserving of this nomination. And if he won, I would be so excited for his portrayal in Sinners. I genuinely feel like I would be happy with any of these 5 men winning. For the 4th acting category, we have actress in a supporting role. This one is also a toss-up, just like the supporting actor. Elle Fanning, Inga Ibastari Elias, Amy Madigan, Wunmi Masaku, and Tiana Taylor. Another group of people that just had stellar performances this year. I also saw all 5 of these performances, and I'm not upset about any of these nominations. While Weapons wasn't my favorite movie, Amy Madigan is really great in that movie, so I can see why she's getting so much attention and recognition for her role in multiple award shows. Elle and Inga are both so amazing in sentimental value. One Me being nominated for Sinner and Tiana being nominated for One Battle After Another are both extremely deserving. Tiana won the Golden Globe for her role, and while she is amazing, she's really only in a little bit of the movie, where I think all of these other actresses are in the entirety of the movie and are so important to the movie that I feel like although Tiana did an amazing job, her 30 minutes of film compared to the 2 hours that the rest of these women are in it, it's really hard to compare for me. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if she took it because she has been getting a lot of attention for this role and has been nominated multiple times. I'm going to save my personal ballot for another video, but I will say that it is quite a toss-up for each of these categories, especially in the supporting roles. The majority of them, amazing acting, and they're all very deserving. Except maybe Timothée Chalamet. Day 9 of the 12 days of Oscars. Today we're going to talk about the directors of the films. I actually was able to see all 5 of these directors' work this year, and all of them are definitely deserving. The 5 directors nominated this year are Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, John Safdie for Marty Supreme, Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another, Yua Kim Tre for Sentimental Value, and Ryan Coogler for Sinners. Obviously, all of my videos are opinion-based, but especially when it comes to stuff like this, because I'm not a director. I've never directed anything before, so what do I know? So just in case I didn't preface before, I don't know what I'm talking about, all right? This is just what I think. No surprise that Hamnet's my favorite movie, so of course I think this movie was directed perfectly. I think there were so many different emotions and things and themes and feelings happening during this movie. The fact that Chloe was able to properly direct each of those scenes and each of those people and characters was just beautiful. Although I'm a Marty Supreme hater, the director did do a great job. There were so many different characters in that movie, and it was moving so quickly, and so much was happening consistently that I could only imagine it was quite a lot to handle. Similarly, I would say One Battle After Another. That movie is so fast. Once you kind of get through the introduction part of it, which still in my opinion is pretty quick, but slower, the movie takes off. He definitely has a style to him, but doesn't shy away from trying new things, I would say. Sentimental Value is probably my favorite of the directors. Yua Kim Tre is stunning. He is... The way that he is able to tell a story of a filmmaker and still make it his own, but also make you feel like you're watching a real filmmaker. He has a few other movies. I've only seen one other, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. I just love the way that he takes us to a place of watching real people. These are real people that I'm watching when I watch his movies. He takes things very slow and takes his time and really shows detail amongst buildings, characters, the different dynamics between the family, the beauty of the house and the place that you're in and the room that you're in. The one-shot type of style, when he's going through the house, he's following a character, he's panning in and panning out. There are just certain styles that he uses are just so beautiful. The last director up is Ryan Coogler for Sinners. What I think is really cool about Sinners, though, in general, is that this is Ryan Coogler's movie. He wrote this movie, he directed this movie, he produced this movie. This is his baby. So I just think it's really cool that he is getting nominated for record-breaking awards, but something particularly for him as the director. There are scenes that are on the surface just beautiful, and when you really pick them apart and you go in depth of these scenes and stories, there's so many layers to it. And he directed that. He did that. He showed us all of those layers in a scene. I really feel like it could be any of these directors. Obviously, my 2 favorite movies of the year are nominated, so they're going to be where my heart is. But I think I'd be pretty satisfied if any of them won because I think they all did an amazing job. It's going to be a tough race and a tight competition. I genuinely enjoy 4 out of 5 of these movies, but even the one I didn't enjoy, I think I would be okay if he won because I could understand why he would win. I guess we'll see. 12 Days of Oscars, day 10. Today we're talking about music. I am a musician's daughter, so I should know all about this. I don't. Once again, I have no actual training or research or education that would make my opinion matter more. Yet, I'm gonna give it. We have 5 scores up for Best Original Score. Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. I've already said in a previous video, my Sinners video, that I really think that Sinners needs to win. The Begonia score is perfect for that movie. I actually forgot how amazing it was until I did my day 1 of the 12 Days of Oscars. I re-listened to the soundtrack and was reminded how perfect it is. I can totally see why they're up for this award. I would not be upset if they won. Probably won't. It's all instrumental and classical orchestra type music. I should say also the person that did the score for Begonia was Erskine Fredericks. Second movie, Frankenstein. Score done by Alexandre Desplat. Of course, that score is just beautiful. That whole movie is so gorgeous. If you haven't seen Frankenstein yet, I highly recommend it. It is stunning just as much as the cinematography and the acting is. Alexandre also has composed a lot of the Harry Potter movies. And for anyone that knows me, I'm a huge Harry Potter person. So there is a little bit of bias there because I'm already a fan of this composer, but genuinely, he did such a beautiful score for Frankenstein. Third one is Hamnet, Max Richter. This one is very complicated for me. While Hamnet is my pick for pretty much everything, I actually would not pick the score. Is the score beautiful? Absolutely. It is stunning. What a beautiful album. Bought it on vinyl. It's amazing. But the best part of that score is the use of one particular song. And the thing with that particular song is that it was already written before Hamnet. Director Chloe asked if she could use that already made piece in her movie. It is perfect. It is probably the best part of that movie. But because it was already written before, does it deserve Best Original Score? Maybe not. Fourth nomination is One Battle After Another, score written by Johnny Greenwood. This score did such a fabulous job with keeping you on the edge of your seat and following through the movie as quickly as it was going. The pace of the movie and the pace of the score fit perfectly. There were certain songs that were almost the exact same sound, but sped up to fit what was happening. I already jumped ahead a little bit ago, but Sinners is the last nomination for score, done by Ludwig Göransson. This score is so perfect. The very beginning, when the title screen is coming up and the score has started, it's already pulling you in. There's an eeriness to the score depending on the scene that just fits in so well. He has an old Southern banjo type sound to a lot of it that fits with what the movie is about and fits the setting of the movie itself. I could easily just listen to the score on its own, and I have. There's also singing in the movie, so there is an actual soundtrack to the movie as well, which Ludwig is a part of, and they do have their Best Original Song up as well. I just think it's super deserving. They took so much time on the score and the soundtrack, and you can really tell. Again, I think the Sinners one is the most deserving, but all of them fit so well and are so beautiful, and I would genuinely be fine if any of them win. Thank you for joining me for day 10. Day 11 of the 12 Days of Oscars. Today we are talking about cinematography. Once again, I don't have any knowledge on cinematography. I am not educated in any way, so it's just my opinion. We have another 5 movies up for cinematography, and they are Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams. It's one of those movies I have not talked about, so I'm very excited to talk about it. I have seen all 5 of these movies, so I am an expert in their cinematography. As I mentioned earlier, Frankenstein is absolutely stunning. Cinematography in this movie is so beautiful. Once I saw it was nominated, I was like, oh, of course, this movie is so beautiful, and it actually has a very high chance of winning. Marty Supreme, I'm sorry, but come on. For cinematography, yes, there are certain scenes that are really beautiful. It takes place in like the 50s in New York. The cinematography, wasn't the best I've ever seen. Honestly, I would have rather had Begonia nominated for cinematography than Marty Supreme. Anyways, One Battle After Another being nominated, I have mixed feelings about as well. Not to the extent of Marty Supreme, because I actually liked One Battle After Another. I do have mixed feelings because I really only think there are a couple scenes that I really saw the cinematography and was blown away by it. Yeah, aside from that, like the rest of the movie, I wouldn't watch that movie and be like, wow, this movie is beautiful looking. I can't believe the movie looks like this. Which is why it's hard for me to say that it deserves this nomination, and it definitely doesn't deserve to win this. Sinners being nominated, again, fully understand. The colors alone that are used in this movie, even having the two brothers in their particular like colors and looks, very, very beautiful. Now I'm going to take a little bit more time with this last one. Train Dreams. This one is actually also up for Best Picture, but I didn't make a video on it because I just couldn't get to all 10 of the movies. You best believe it deserves cinematography. This movie is so stunning. The most beautiful movie I've seen this year when it comes to cinematography, of course. This movie takes place pretty much outside and in nature. It's a lot of green, a lot of sky, a lot of faraway shots. Water, old cabin, you know, that type of look. This movie was also filmed with 99% of natural light. Using natural light, real fire, real candlelight. If you just want to see something that is so stunning and one of the most gorgeously isn't a word, but gorgeously shot things ever, then you should definitely watch this movie just for the art of it alone. I am afraid it's gonna get overlooked by some of the heavy hitters like One Battle After Another or Sinners, but Train Dreams truly is the cinematography movie of the year. This is a category that I actually do care about who wins. As the sun is shining into my window, I'm really thinking about how incredible and smart and how thought out natural light has to be used. That they did this for 99% of the movie is so impressive because this is really difficult and I am just filming a 5-minute video. So they were able to film an entire cinematic piece by timing it with the sun, with fire, with the moonlight. It's just so impressive. I guess we'll just have to wait until tomorrow to see. Day 12 of the 12 days of Oscars. The Oscars are officially on tonight. This is my Super Bowl. This is my game day. I've been waiting for this for months. I am so freaking excited. It's been so fun just talking about these and kind of reliving movies that I have seen weeks, months ago. And re-listening to soundtracks again has been really fun. It all comes down to this. Who is going to win tonight? So I filled out a ballot for the Oscars and I'm going to go ahead and let you know what I think is going to win tonight and what my Oscar predictions are. I'm sure a lot of my predictions are not going to come as a surprise, as I've talked about majority of the movies these last 12 days. Slight disclaimer, I am skipping some categories. Also, this is what I think is going to win, not what I want to win. If I fill this out with what I want, it's just going to be Hamnet and sentimental value over and over and over and over again for pretty much every single thing. So instead, I filled it out to be based on my predictions of what is going to win. So for actor in a leading role, I actually think that Michael B. Jordan is going to win. Actor in a supporting role, I think Delroy Lindo is going to win. Actress in a leading role, Jessie Buckley. Actress in a supporting role, Tiana Taylor. For casting, I think that Sinners is going to win. Cinematography, I'm hoping and I'm guessing and I'm thinking that Train Dreams is going to win. I think Paul Thomas Anderson will win for Best Director. For International Feature Film, I think Sentimental Value will win. Frankenstein's gotta take makeup and hairstyling, right? I think. Ludwig for Best Original Score for Sinners. Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters for Best Original Song. Sinners for Production Design. I think Hamnet will win for Best Adapted Screenplay. And I think Sinners is going to win for Best Original Screenplay. So who is going to take Best Picture? I'm gonna throw a curveball. I have this weird feeling that the Academy wants us to think it's going to be Sinners or One Battle After Another, maybe Hamnet, but they're gonna sneak in, pull a fast one, and they're going to give it to The Secret Agent. I could just see them doing something like this. We'll see what actually happens. I'm so excited for this. And if anybody wants to talk more about it or has any questions or what they think is going to happen, please send it my way because this is all I want to talk about. I will definitely be posting more on my story throughout the Oscars, as I will, I'm sure, have live reactions to things. Now let the Oscars commence.